Look at this wild and feral thing. Hello. You alright, buddy? You supposed to be out? I don't know. Come on. Just leaving Orbost. And this house has got a really funky Arizona, Mexico kind of feel. Heading towards a campground that I really like called Cann River. And it's about 70 kilometers from here. Thankfully, not as big as the last walk. I was just on the rail trail, which is 98 kilometers for that stretch. But the one after that, going from Cann River to Eden, is 100 and something kilometers, 100 kilometers I think it is. So I got two big stretches back to back, and they're good, but when they're that far between towns, it's not so much isolation, it's rationing, you know. Gotta make sure your food lasts. Well, the food is not so bad. You can survive like a long time without food. Certainly between here and Eden. Water is the issue, or at least I don't carry a lot of water, but I carry electrolyted water. And but I've got 2 extra liters than I normally carry. Just in case. There should be creeks along the way, but just in case. And the other thing I did as well was when I was in town was I took all the stuff out of my bag that I'm carrying because I need it, but I don't need it on this hike. Does that make sense? So for example, my passport as an example, and some other things like documents I need I have a company, and I have my company documents I've got to keep. So, you know, carrying all that stuff. And I didn't realize when I took it to the post office, it weighed over 4 kilograms. I think it was nearly 5. I've got a picture of it. I'll put the number up on the screen if I remember. Oh, hello. Look at you. Beautiful. Oh, hello. Doing a stellar job. I like little animals. They're so full of energy and take on the world. Yeah, so it was like over 4 kilograms. I remember it was 4 point something. I just don't remember exactly what it was. And taking that out of here is going to make a difference. But then I added 2 kilograms in because of water. Everything just happened at once then. So so by putting an extra 2 liters of water in, that put 2 kilos in. So I'm really only down 2 kilograms, 2 and a bit kilograms. But as I walk, of course, I'll use more water and that'll lighten the load. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be like with, essentially 4 kilograms less in the pack. So really, I've brought my pack weight down quite dramatically. It's not 20 kilograms anymore. I think I'm down to about 12 kilograms, which is, you know, pretty good. But after 100 kilometers, that starts weighing a lot on your back. And each morning, it didn't matter if it's 20 kilograms or if it's 12 kilograms or whatever, the pack always feels lighter in the morning, you know, as it would, more refreshed. So I'm waiting to see what it's like this afternoon, to see at what point does my body fatigue carrying the backpack. It's also very cold. It's about I don't know, 10:30 now in the morning, and I think it's only about 5 or 6 degrees, something like that. It must be snowing up in the Snowy Mountains, which is just a couple of 100 kilometers that way. So it certainly gets the cold here. And I believe I was looking at the weather report, there was snow in the forecast for Melbourne. So anyway, I'm going to get on with this walk. Exciting highway walking. Also, thanks to everyone who helped out with the shoes. Because of your generosity, I was able to upgrade to a really good pair of Gore-Tex Salomons. They're actually the exact same ones as I had before, and the reason why I chose them is because they last a real long time. So those last ones, I was trying to work out, I think I've done nearly 2,000 kilometers in those shoes, and the sole hadn't quite worn through yet. So that's a testament to how good they are. But they're also waterproof too, so if I step in puddles and muck and stuff, it's not too bad. So anyway, thank you very much to everyone who helped out. It's a big thing. I'm going to take it easy today as I wear them for the first time. Wear them in a little bit without pushing myself. So I won't be doing full 20 kilometers, I don't think, today. I'm just going to just meander and maybe do 10 and make sure I don't damage my foot any further than I have. I was looking at it. I probably could have done some irreparable damage to my foot, but I'll wait and see. I won't be able to really know until I get to Sydney and see a specialist, just to make sure that that skin is healing over properly. In the meantime, I'm using a special band-aid for burns victims to help regenerate skin growth, because it was pretty bad. And the good thing is it's almost like it's a silicone side on the outside, and so there's no friction against socks and things like that, so it's not hurting as I walk. It's only when I twist my ankle a little bit, when you're uneven ground, it might put extra pressure, but other than that, it's pretty good. So thank you again to everyone. It means the world to me, and the culmination of everyone's generosity allowed me to get the better shoes that I really needed. So thank you again. The other thing I like to do when I'm walking on roads, whether it be a main road like this or any other road, is I walk opposite traffic. So I'm looking at the cars coming towards me. That way I've got plenty of gap between cars coming behind me where I can't see them, but I can certainly see the cars coming towards me and get out of their way. Whereas if they're coming from behind, well, how can I hear them? Even like a Tesla, you can't hear them coming till they're on top of you. So being on the opposite side of the road is just a good safety precaution. So 72 Ks to Cann River, where I'm going to be pit stopping between there and Eden, 181 kilometers to Eden, and 656 kilometers to the next city. How come I never got this on the other side coming in? Oh, look at this old bus stop. Oh, woman. You could so easily camp in here for the night if it was bucketing with rain, carpeted floor. I think you'd get a few visitors in. Anyway, I still got hours to go before the sun goes down, so that is not for me tonight. Pulled into this rest stop because the next one is 11 kilometers that way, and I've already walked 22 kilometers from the other way, which is twice as far as I thought I'd do today. But I'm just going to come in here because there's bathrooms, there's shelter, and I was going to take it easy. And it started to rain, and I hate walking in the rain, so I'm just going to just relax for a little bit. It's only about 1:32 in the afternoon, so I've made great ground, and it's a big difference these shoes make when before I was walking 20 kilometers by the end of the day and my feet were killing me. Hey, there's a shelter. Whereas these, I've done 22 kilometers and it's just after lunch. Are there any signs in here saying no overnight camping? Let's have a look. There's a welcome sign up here. Well, there is a dump station here, which is, handy. Not for me, but handy. There we go. Is there camping here? Oh, no bookings are required for camping. But I don't know if that means for here or because of the different places that you can go to in the national park. But I can't see any signs saying no camping, no overnight parking, which is excellent. Anyway, I'm going to sit up in here for a second and recoup. That's a good sign. There's fire pit, there's picnic tables. Doesn't look like designated campground areas, but definitely definitely areas you can come along and pitch a tent right there and give your eyes, as long as there's no widow makers up there. Yeah, someone's turned up. Yeah, that might be where I camp tonight if I can't be bothered to keep going. Be out of the view of most overnights, campers who are just coming into like RVers, stuff, park up here and then disappear. I'll be over there and you won't really see me. I was gonna sleep over here, but it started to rain, right? Which is funny because it says there's no chance of rain today. Someone got that wrong. And not because of the fire pit, but because it's nice and flat there. But I'm a bit worried there's a branch just here that, be right on top of the tent. There's a beautiful kookaburra. Oh, look. Hello, mister. Come on. Stake in the ground. There we go. Hello. But I could go elsewhere. Like there's a place right here that I could also go, which is not too bad. There's not anything above me that's going to be an issue, other than the wet, right? And I'm getting too old for this stuff, to be camping rough in the rain. And I had thought about coming over here. There's a spot right here, and the tree above isn't too bad, and it's possible I could go there. But then I was thinking, well, there's somewhere better that when I wake up in the morning that I won't have a wet tent for the next week, because it'll take a long time to dry out in this kind of weather, right? So I'm thinking once it gets a little closer to dark and less people on the road, I might just pitch my tent up here. I think it'll fit in between there. And then I'll be sheltered. It will be a little colder on the concrete, no doubt. But I'll wake up and chances are I won't be wet. So I'm thinking this might be where I stay tonight. There's no one here. It's not like anyone's coming to use their picnic tables. It's late afternoon on a Friday. I reckon if anything, people are going to pull in, sleep for the night and bugger off. And very rarely will you have anyone come and use these in the miserable wet. So I'll leave it to the last minute and then pitch my tent. But I can always pick it up and move it over there if the weather changes, which I could do. But it is Victoria, so it does say 0 chance of rain. It does look like a little bit of water has kicked down already. So Victorian meteorologists need to get their poop in a group, as someone would say. But it's cold. It's 12 degrees. I'm in short sleeves, shorts, and a thin hiking shirt. I just want to rug up, but I don't want to set up yet. It's still too early, like 2.5 hours to sunset. And I don't want to walk in this miserable stuff, so I'm going to wait here. Tomorrow is supposed to be beautiful, sunny, allegedly. So I might just pick up my hike tomorrow. Yeah, why not? It's so tempting just to put the tent on the picnic table. It's not too bad, but I wonder whether I'd slide off, but also whether I would actually damage the tent on the corners. It does look pretty cool in there. I'll be off the ground. And the downside is I wouldn't be able to I lose all this space, so I wouldn't be able to put the bag in there. Anyway, I did test it over here. It does fit. I'll see if I can get it in. It's such a light tent I can carry it. Hold on. There you go. So I can actually put it down in there. It's going to be snug up against the seats here. And and getting in and out would be a little trickier. So maybe I might push it up that way. So getting out will be a little easier here. I don't know. But I think I might do that. I might just put the tent there for the night. And if someone comes and tells me to bugger off, well, I'll move it over there. But at least it'll be dry. But it'll be my first time sleeping on concrete. Anyway, I just hope that it's dark enough that nobody notices when it's there. I'm very brazen, like it's not even 4 o'clock. The sun's still up, although the sky has cleared up a little bit. It is nice. I could have walked another hour, but then wherever I go, it'll be all wet ground. So I figure I'm just going to stay here under this shelter and just hopefully no hooligans come and do burnouts here, because that's something I would have done in the wet.